Welcome, everyone. This is Texas City Tells the podcast. My name is Ramari.
I'm Jennifer.
And today we have Dr. Ben-Okoli from UTMB Texas City. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
So how long have you been a doctor at UTMB Texas City?
I think I'm going on 3 years now. I started in 2020. So I think like October of 2020.
You started at a busy time.
A very busy time.
Yeah.
A very interesting time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of masks. So I'm actually getting to know a lot of my patients. So if any of you are watching this and you've said hi to me at Walmart, it's actually because, I'm just learning your face now. We all had to wear masks all this while.
Yeah, my daughter and I were just having this conversation at her bus stop because there was one of the students wearing a mask. And I said, oh, don't stand too close to him because he might be sick. And she said, no, he wears a mask every day. And I said, so you actually have no idea like what his mouth or chin looks like at all. She didn't. So she said she wouldn't recognize him without a mask.
And you'd be surprised how much different people look when you add the mouth and the nose
Yeah.
to the eyes. The brain kind of imagines what it wants, and then you finally see them, and you're just like, I got it totally wrong,
Yeah.
So it's been very interesting, like saying hello again to patients, and of course they understand too. So
Yeah.
that's been helpful.
Is life getting back to normal more at the clinic now?
I would say so, but then it's also weird because then COVID was normal.
Right.
That was my first experience being my own doctor, and it was COVID. And then now it's kind of almost weird when you have to dress up in gown.
Mm-hmm.
But then that also says that COVID is still out there, and everyone should still take it as seriously as they should.
Yep.
Yes.
So June is Men's Health Month, and rumor has it that men are like, number one, the worst patients, and they don't really come to the doctor.
I can verify that the first one is not a rumor. It is fact.
I wouldn't say they're the worst patients, but I think men, there's this machismo thing where I know what's wrong with me, so I'll just do X, Y, Z. And I mean, the good thing about health is it's also subjective for the most part. So I understand where they're coming from. But I think, especially with men's health coming up, I feel like for sure, if you're 35 and above, it'd be worth just coming in and getting checked, because right about that age is where some chronic conditions start kind of manifesting, cancer screening and those kind of things. And it'd be a good time to just see where you're at, come in for a physical, know that you're healthy.
Yeah.
And then maybe you wait another 2 to 5 years before you get checked again. But I also see a lot of people who come in, and then now we're talking about something that we probably should have been talking about 10 years ago. But they were living fine with it. Yeah. And then now that we've started, addressing it or taking care of it, they're, it's like an eye-opening moment where they're like, oh man, I wish I came. Mm-hmm. One thing I'd noticed that helps men though is having a wife. Most of the men who come in with their wives, and it's very obvious that they have no idea why they're there.
Yes.
But their wife does.
Yeah.
And so we get these weird, funny moments where, I say like, when was the last time you pooped? And then the husband looks at the wife. And I'm like, what is this? Why don't you know this yourself? But I guess that just shows it's very important to have that companion to push you in the right direction when it comes to your health as well. Yeah.
Are you currently accepting new patients?
Yes, I'm accepting new patients. I would say our clinic is. Actually, most of the UTMB primary care clinics are open to new patients. And we're always welcoming. What's good is we have a website that you can go to, and you could look at all the providers in each clinic. It's usually based off of pictures. So you're like, oh, I think this person looks cool,
nice.
Right? And then there are also reviews, just kind of like on Amazon, where people have said this person's great or always on time or whatever. And then you kind of use that to help make a decision. But what I'd also advise is, come in, see whoever you see, and, give that person the opportunity to be the great doctor that they are. And then the good thing is, if it doesn't work out, be it personalities or just rapport, then you can actually just go see the next doctor until you find the right one. But I think your health trumps, being buddies with your doctor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
So if you were going to give men specifically, some general health tips or things to look out for, what would you suggest?
I would start off with sleep. I think sleep is very important. That's something that I struggle with myself, and I'm actually trying to make it a priority now. And I've noticed a lot of differences just with how my day goes, my mood, those kind of things. So at least 6 to 8 hours each night. Drinking water is also very important. I would say at least half a gallon to a gallon each day. And then trying to get some sort of physical activity in, at least 30 minutes, 5 times a week. A lot of my male patients work in the plants, and I would say this as a way of, I guess, agreeing and also apologizing for looking at you guys weird sometimes. But they always swear I do work at, I exercise at my job. And I'd be like, nah, that's, I don't care, 10,000 steps or whatever. But I was part of the leadership group, and we toured a plant. And we did some of that walking and climbing the stairs and all that. And I believe
changed your mind.
it really is exercise.
That's legitimate cardio.
Legitimate cardio. But the way the body works as well is it's a machine that adapts, right? So if you do that every day and you need a health impact from exercise, then you kind of have to do a little bit more so that your body can feel the impacts of that. So I'm definitely not saying you guys don't, do all the exercise that you promise you do. But I still say we should do a little bit more.
So you did Leadership Mainland, which is through the Texas City Lamarck Chamber.
Yes.
How did you enjoy it?
It was fantastic. I mean, it opened my eyes to Texas City and Lamarck and even some of the surrounding cities too, and to what's available, the resources, the amazing people. I mean, I've made, in my opinion, some lifelong friendships. I mean, even we weren't necessarily in leadership together, but we had didn't you come to Austin?
I was supposed to come to Austin
Oh, yeah,
on your
you
trip because
didn't
I was in
come.
a class right before you guys,
Right.
which was in
The
the height of
COVID class.
COVID. Yeah. It was almost like 2 years. And so we missed out on our Austin trip.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would say it really has also even opened doors just with putting myself and UTMB out in the community. It's been a great experience. I would definitely recommend, if you're in a company that offers that and you're a stellar employee, then you should put yourself out and get that experience for sure. Yes.
You're going to be in the next class.
I know, I need to.
Oh, you are?
No, I need to.
We're
Ramari just
we're
signed
not-
me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. I don't think you'd regret it. I think now that it's no longer COVID related, they're actually doing a
Right.
lot more.
It
They
looks-
went to a beach house and spent 2 nights or
I want to
something.
do it again.
Yeah, I
You
kind of
did
want
it
to do
with
it
me.
again, like the right way.
Right.
But we had the excursion at least to Austin, which was nice. I'd never been to the State House. There's a whole elevator story we'll reserve for another time. But yeah, it was great to kind of see all those things, beforehand.
All right, y'all talked me into it.
Yeah, you must.
Yeah.
You must.
Now that we've pulled you out of the clinic a little bit, what
Right.
other things are you getting involved in?
In what regard? I mean, I do a lot. I do a lot of stuff.
In a professional manner.
In a
like-
professional manner. So through leadership, I actually got, I guess, recommended and appointed to a coalition to help with homelessness in Texas City, which I think was also, so amazing. Because again, I really don't think I'd even known of the opportunity. And it really was a thing where the mayor was looking for someone, and someone said, hey, I know this guy. We went to leadership together. So you can imagine if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be this cool council person.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would I say? Committee person?
Yes.
And, definitely looking forward to see what ways we could help improve homelessness in Texas City for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I think it's important to serve the community that you work in. Most people want to. I don't think they're not aware of the resources or the opportunities available to do it. And I think this would be probably a perfect stepping stone to kind of seeing how else I could help with Texas City and Lamarck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's weird. I've always been in the South Houston, Galveston County area, probably since 2012. But, you know, I was always just going from League City to Galveston to go to UTMB. So kind of working here is opening this whole thing where I didn't even realize Texas City was here. I thought it was like Lagomar by 45. Whereas it is, right? But then
It's bigger
truly
than
the
people-
city is
right.
coming in here.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole, you know, they have their own Walmart and their own HEB and everything. I sound a little weird, but I'm not originally from, well, it's weird. I grew up in Nigeria. So, you know, understanding the way, I guess, city planning works is kind of always eye-opening to me. So everywhere has a Walmart, right? And so you don't really need to live in Houston because you're still going to have a Walmart and a Home Depot and everything.
Right.
But it was nice to know that this is Texas City, and this is actually the community where most of my patients are coming from. Prior to this in residency, I worked at Dickinson Clinic, which is almost a whole different demographic. But it was close enough that most of my patients from Dickinson could still keep me as their doctor when I became an attendee. So, yeah.
Nice.
It's good that they came over with you. My pediatrician, so I was born and raised here, and my pediatrician was a UTMB pediatrician, and she actually is now at the clinic in Friendswood, and my kids go to her.
That's
So,
good. Yeah. I think if you have a good doctor, you'd be willing to drive a little bit. And again, not to say there's ever a bad doctor. Yeah. But again, it's all very subjective.
Yes.
And I think what I'm going to preach the most is just try to find the doctor that you relate well with, so then you'd be comfortable to bring up issues, ask a question, you know, and just kind of get the health care that you deserve. Yeah.
It's a good reminder.
It is. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course.
We appreciate you taking out time from your patients.
Of course. Hey, it's my pleasure. I think recently it's just something cool, and this is a little bit of self-promotion.
Okay.
But the UTMB has a magazine that comes out each month, and I recently was featured on there, as it was kind of a thing about doctors who do other things than doctor stuff. And so you guys should check it out.
Yeah.
I'd
You have a
probably share the
celebrity
link.
with us today.
A cover
You
model
know?
in the
Yeah,
building.
well, I wouldn't say I was on the cover page or anything. Maybe centerfold. But yeah, I think that was pretty cool that they did that, and so I think I'd say I'm proud of the exposure
Yeah.
in that
Should
regard.
be.
Yeah.
We'll definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
And hopefully you guys have me back because this was pretty cool.
We'll think about it.
Okay.
I'm a yes.
Think about it.
Fair. I'll take that.
Thank you again to Dr. Ben-Okoli with UTMB Texas City for joining us today. Thank you to the City of Texas City for sponsoring this podcast. You can catch new episodes every Wednesday on the city's Facebook page, YouTube, or wherever podcasts are streamed. If there's an entrepreneur, someone doing amazing work in Texas City that you would love for us to speak to, please recommend them in the comments below. Till next time.
Bye.